The following cinematograph was created for a grade 6 class studying flight. We know that all knowledge begins in observation, and developing students' observation skills is a key way to tap into their ability to think creatively. So the cinematograph is a tool to help them learn and improve their observation skills, especially when we think about things that they see all the time that are around them, but they don't really look at. They just see them, they recognize them, but they don't think carefully about them. So the two cinemagraphs that I created, one involves birds flying. I particularly like how this slows down the bird's motion and allows them to see the action of the birds that they may not be able to see with their natural eye. The second one is flags flying, and this kind of provokes an eerie emotion as the rest of the image is still and your attention is really focused on the flag. The keenest observers make use of every kind of sensory information. Now, these two examples are purely visual. However, I hope that through looking at these, students will be inquirers and kind of develop an idea about what sensory information is missing. What sensory information is also happening in these pictures that they know from experience that they're not experiencing just by looking. So they may be thinking, what would the wind sound like in this picture? What would it feel like if you were in this place? One of the great things about the iCinemagraph is that because there's only one section of the picture that's moving, we can really focus our attention to what to look at it, and then begin to think about how to look at it. So with the birds, we can look at how the birds are moving. What actions are the birds performing that's helping them to gain flight? The flag, again, we can focus in on the flag's movement and think about what's the wind doing here? All of these are questions that, because we can focus in our attention on just one aspect of the picture, we can think more critically about it. Some of the issues that I ran into were finding a segment of video that allowed students to see just the action, that less was actually more. Having fewer frames that with slower movements for the birds allowed the individual motion of the birds to repeat at a nicer pattern than having a longer span because of the movement of the birds over time. The quotes that I used were all from Sparks of Genius, the 13 Thinking Tools of the World's Most Creative People, written by Ruth Bernstein and Ruth Bernstein.